compensation charge, green tax, in addition to the toll tax. So this is of course to curb pollution in Delhi. Vinod Aggarwal, the CEO of Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicles at Eicher Motors, joins us now to talk about that. Mr. Aggarwal, you've also reported very good sales in the month of September, so I'll come to that in a bit. But before that, just on the news flow that we got this morning with respect to this green tax, how much of a negative would it be for a company like yours and on sentiment as well?
No, this additional environmental compensation charge which the National Green Tribunal has proposed for NCR, that is of course the cost will go up, because that they are proposing to levy 500 rupees per truck to 1000 rupees per truck on all the trucks irrespective of the age of the truck. So this is in a way increase in the toll tax. So this will increase the cost, and it has been imposed in addition to the ban on more than 10-year-old vehicles.
But will this in any way
this type of sudden impositions create negative sentiment? That's the only way, and it increases, because ultimately the transporters will pass on this cost increase to the consumers.
But
because
Mr. Aggarwal, in a product that is of a higher value, a 700 or 1000 rupee increase, will it really impact sentiment in the longer term?
No, if you look at the total, every day around 60 to 70,000 trucks enter Delhi. Now, if you take, say, average rate of 750 rupees per truck, it comes up to around 4.5 crores of rupees per day. So that's the additional cost that will come on Delhi consumers, 4.5 crores per day. Okay. So that's the impact, and then taking a cue from this, even other cities may also impose this. So you are increasing basically the cost. Whereas if you have to solve this problem of pollution, you are already putting this ban of more than 10-year-old vehicles. So I say this type of thing, it should be done after discussion with the transporter association rather than putting it suddenly like this.
Okay. Is there no caveats to the order that you change your emission rules or your fuel? It is put on everybody without let or hindrance, or can you all improve your vehicles in some fashion to avoid this tax?
No, emission norms are already, that policy is in place, like from 1st of October already in the northern part of the country. The Euro 4 norms have come into place, and in a phased manner VS4 will become applicable throughout the country from 1/4/2017, and then subsequently there is also a roadmap available for Euro 5 and Euro 6. So that way the emission norm policy is in place, and the industry is working on it, and that is in any case going on. But this is an additional thing in addition to the emission compliances which are already happening.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the volumes now? The month of September has been quite strong for commercial vehicles like yours. You've seen a growth of almost 28% year on year and 14% on a month-on-month basis. Just take us through the different pockets. Which are the pockets that did well between heavy commercials, light commercials and buses?
No, month of September was in fact exceptionally good for the industry, I would say. And if you look at the heavy-duty trucks, the growth was almost more than 50%. After a long time, we could see the heavy-duty industry at around 25,000 units per month. And even the light and medium-duty trucks industry, which is 5 to 15-ton trucks, that also has grown by more than 20%. And for last 2 months, it is growing by 20% plus. Even though on YTD basis for first 9 months, light and medium-duty growth is still around 7%. As against growth in the heavy-duty trucks, which is at 39% for first 9 months. So and buses also, they are growing by around 20-25% every month. So overall, I think all the segments have grown in the month of September, so which is very good for the industry, I would say.
Okay. Do you see the light and medium also getting more traction? They have been the lower performers compared to the others.
Yeah, definitely, and now for last 2 months they are doing better, and in fact if you look at the data up to July end, first 7 months it was almost flat, there was no growth, it was almost 0.2% growth, and August and September we have seen a growth of 20% plus in 5 to 14 ton, 5 to 15 ton trucks industry. So if this continues, definitely we see good signs, and let's hope that this continues.
Is there any...
Because as it is, there is always a lag between the heavy duty trucks growth and the light and medium duty trucks growth. Because if the heavy duty trucks are growing, light and medium duty also have to grow. That's the natural tendency. Whereas this time the lag has been much bigger. You know, the lag has been larger, which is around 6 to 9 months. But this time it is more than a year.
Okay. Can you tell us about the bus segment? Because, you know, in the last quarter, Eicher Motors actually outperformed the industry with a 23% growth in the buses segment. And you saw a market share gain as well. What's the latest? What is the visibility of orders that you're getting in that segment?
No, the bus industry is basically also a seasonal, because from February till July or August, and there is a school season. Because all the schools replace their fleets or add new fleets during this period when the new session starts. So we have seen very good growth in that period. And going forward, I think the growth is going to be led by the new orders which are going to be placed under the Amrut scheme or the state transport undertakings orders. But on the other hand, you know, when this new government, they replaced the earlier scheme, JN and URM with Amrut, I think there has been some disconnect, and the things have slowed down a lot.
Oh, really?
Because I think the funds, those were getting released under JN and URM, when they changed over this to Amrut, those funds have been blocked. So I think the changeover has not been smooth. As a result, the execution of this entire you know, renewal program with the new buses has slowed down, and even though there were orders from state transport undertakings, or they had floated tenders and they had also finalized this, but they have not been able to execute them because they don't get the funds under the scheme, and that's a big setback, I would say, which the government should expedite, that under the Amrut scheme the funds are not blocked, which earlier they were flowing under JN and URM.
Okay. So any idea on, I mean, any indication on when these funds could be unlocked and when the first order flow will start coming through from the Amrut scheme?
The orders are already there, which were you know, earlier placed under JN and URM. But the state undertakings or the cities, they are not able to execute these orders because they say they don't have funds. Like we have got the orders, we have manufactured buses, and they are lying with us because the government, the bodies are not picking up. They are saying that we have not got the funds.
So the money has vanished from JN and URM, but it has not come to the Amrut account, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it has not. This changeover has not been smooth.
Okay.
Even though the intentions must have been very good from the government, but the changeover has not been smooth.
Okay. What is your sense about the second half? Will it be as good as the first half? Will it be better in terms of demand? What are your dealers telling you?
No, I think the second half, again, it is there are 2-3 things which we have to understand. One is the interest rates. Like this, I was very delighted that the Reserve Bank of India finally, in the last policy, they have reduced the benchmark rates by 50 basis points. But still, I would say that is not enough. If you go back in July 2009, between July 2008 to July 2009, the drop in benchmark rates was from 8% to from 9% to 4.75%. Just in period of 9 months, the drop by 3.25%. Whereas we are taking a lot of time to improve the interest rates. If you look at the global scenario, the commodity prices, the prices are going to remain down because the entire global demand is not there. The steel demand or the cement or the iron ore, all these various commodities are having tremendous pressure. Now, why are we worried about inflation? Inflation, if we have to manage well, we have to manage the supply side better.
No, so under the circumstances, what do you think will be the second half demand?
Second half demand, I would say that let's have more interest cost reductions, and then infrastructure investments should also happen, because there again there has been not very good progress in the execution. And of course, because in the first the period up to September, the new regulations are becoming applicable from 1st of October. Like for example, ABS is become applicable, or BS4 is going to become applicable from in various states. Now, if the you know, there was some preponement that has happened, so to that extent there may be even some negative impact. So that's why I am saying that it is very, very important for the industry that all these macro steps are taken, like for example the interest rate reduction as well as the infrastructure investments. So government must make this happen.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining us. Well, that's the word coming in. There will be a rise in cost because of this new Green Tribunal tax or charge that has been imposed on all trucks getting into Delhi. But we'll take a break for now. Just watch out for the market too. It's moved to the lowest point of trade. In fact, the Bank Nifty is under quite a bit of pressure. It's down almost 1%, 0.7% to be precise. And that's really exerting pressure on the market. But coming up, what's the outlook for the October series looking like? We'll ask Tushar Mahajan, the head of listed futures and options at Nomura Financial Advisory.